Hey, what's going on? My name is Mick, and I'm posting my day trading journey right here to YouTube with complete transparency. And today I had one trade, wasn't anything stellar. It was a small loss, but I wanted to go over the small loss, kind of how it played out, my emotions, really the technical analysis of why I hopped in, why I got out, things of that nature. And then I also want to go over another trade, which kind of, I mean, in hindsight, would have played out perfectly with my original higher time frame analysis. So we'll start here. I'm trading micro NQ contracts right now, and I'm also charting that. This is the 1 hour chart, and I'm going back pretty much to September 21st. And my objective, since we've been in a higher time frame downtrend, my objective has just been marking these 1 hour supply zones, 3 hour supply zones, just general areas where we get large down reactions. I would like to see them during regular trading hours. So this one I think is okay, still a pretty significant level. We had a significant level here. We had a couple of minor ones throughout the day that played intraday, and I wanted to zoom down into the 15-minute because that's where I had a couple. So this is where I made my decisions. At least I marked out my zones this morning. From Friday, this was really the significant one that I was looking at, which was really the high of the day on Friday, around 15,040. I had marked that out. And this supply zone prior was actually a supply zone from a couple of days ago, back the Friday prior, and I just kind of extended that. It seemed to actually still play a role. Probably still just another area of resistance here. The overnight we had a rejection off of that supply zone here. I didn't. I kind of struggled this morning, and I took a kind of a silly trade, and I'll show you exactly why I entered, where I entered. This is the 1 minute time frame, and what I was looking on the 1 minute time frame here, I started to see we started off the day with a lot of buying power. I kind of was just patient, waiting to see how things played out. What I started to see was just a head and shoulders here, the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder here. And then this in hindsight wasn't great. I wish it would have played a little bit stronger through here. Would have been a much cleaner head and shoulders play. But I did like the wick up here. And so I kept seeing essentially, higher high, lower high, lower high. And in these, I mean, these are relative equal lows, but this is still a lower low. I did enter right here at 10:33 this morning, and I set my stop loss right here at 14,957, which was right above this large candle right here. And I set it right there. And for the first couple of minutes, I was feeling pretty confident. We weren't making any moves, but at the end, it didn't take me very long to realize that these last two candles right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. These last two candles, it was basically kind of my last hurrah. I figured if it didn't make a significant move, I was really hoping to break this level of 14,907 here, and unfortunately we didn't. We didn't do that, and I actually ended up. I exited the position early. When I was exiting the position, I felt pretty confident that we weren't going to be moving down. I obviously didn't have the power of hindsight, but I didn't think we were going to be moving down, especially after this wick. And fortunately, I got out with a small loss here, which, let's see, $62. Yeah, $62 loss. I'm trading 5 MNQ contracts right now. So overall, this is what it looked like. This was my target, which was the actual opening print for the day. I was bearish overall, just from the higher time frame trend. And so this was kind of a strange one. I did exit early. I felt I had conviction that it wasn't actually going to go in my favor, so I did exit early for a small loss when that could have been a couple $100 loss when it stopped me out up here. I don't feel too bad about it. Yes, this was a standard pattern play. what I could have done is waited for more of a supply area, which is again what I'm trying to experiment with right now. Backing out to the higher time frame. Yeah, let's see here. This is the one trade that I didn't take. I actually basically quit trading after that loss today. I just said, maybe today's not my day. I'll wait till tomorrow. This is where things got interesting around like 11:30, 11:15, 11:30. When we entered this supply zone right here, we had a perfect rejection off of this. So again, these supply zones are working. Unfortunately, I just wasn't trading at all. I stopped trading right when I exited the position at like 11. But had I stayed around the screens, we would have been able to see a pretty decent reaction here. I didn't see on the 1 minute chart, I didn't really see that clean of an entry just because it started dive bombing right afterwards. So the only thing I would have guessed up here on the 1 minute for an entry is really just the amount of wicks. We really had a lot of wicks. We didn't really have a lot of really any up or down movement here. But then it just kind of fell off a cliff. This really didn't seem like any entries available. So, in hindsight, obviously that would have been a perfect play off of that level. But moving forward, this can still be a pretty significant level. So we're going to keep marking these moving forward and just keep an eye on them. And see this supply zone, even into the aftermarket, is kind of playing a little bit as well. So a couple of things to keep in mind moving forward is that these supply zones, they are working. I mean, they're basic supply and demand zones, support and resistance zones, order blocks, whatever you want to call them, but they are playing. Just need to make sure that you're aware of where they're at. And really don't do what I did, which is don't get into a position really in the middle of nowhere. This was, we had a demand zone down here in pre-market and supply zone here, and I'm getting into trades in the middle of that range. So this is, I think, textbook things to avoid is if you're going to play supply and demand, which is just wait till it enters, see if it's going to play in your direction, and then make a play off of it. Don't do anything here in the middle because, I mean, if you take any notes from the first 2 hours in the market, is it just kind of chopped for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I got chopped up. It's that simple. And had I took an early morning futures trade or waited for this supply zone. So these things do work. It's just a matter of being patient. I don't think I was very patient this morning. So maybe that could have been the key, is just having a little bit of patience. But that's really all I have for you today. Just a simple trade. And then, a hindsight trade would have looked really great. So still trucking along on my my Apex valuation. Still, I think I want to say I'm about like $1,800 or $1,900 into the $3,000 profit target. So I still have some work to do, but overall, just trying to take it slow and steady. Keep my trading as simple as possible when it comes to just these levels, these supply and demand zones, support and resistance zones, and making sure to play off of well-established supply and demand zones, and hopefully learn my lesson about not trading here right in the middle. So that's all I have for you today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.